Last month on July 15th, United States House of Representatives had decided to not put CAATSA sanction on India for purchasing the Russian S-400 defense system. In this video, we will try to understand why United States did that, what are the reasons behind it, and how the veto power country's perception about India has changed. If you remember last year in 2021, when India received its first unit of S-400 missile defense system from Russia, United States was not happy with it. There were high-level talks regarding United States' possibility of putting CAATSA sanctions on India. In fact, it was not easy for India. United States has many times directly as well as indirectly warned India that it could face sanctions if it continues to pursue its interests in buying the S-400 system. Let me quickly tell you about the CAATSA sanction in brief. United States has a sanction which is called the CAATSA sanction. Its full form is Countering America's Adversaries Through Sanctions Act. It is self-explanatory. You can easily understand that if any country in the world has a plan which can be a potential threat to the United States, then as per this act, the United States will take countermeasures, and those measures are primarily in the form of sanctions. Sanction is like a penalty, and that penalty is usually aimed towards a particular country's economy. After all, money is at the root of almost everything in this world. Hence, if you hit the right spot, then you can potentially control your opponent. In today's world, targeting a country's economy is the way to gain control. Plus, no country in this world wants to see its economy go down. United States implemented the CAATSA Act in 2017 in response to alleged Russian interference in the 2016 United States presidential elections and military involvement in both Ukraine and Syria. If I have to say this informally, United States uses the CAATSA sanction to protect its hegemony in the world. Anyhow, US has warned India many times, and they have said, if India tries to acquire the Russian S-400 system, then it may face US sanctions. And then if you see last month in July 15, 2022, United States House of Representatives had decided to not put CAATSA sanction on India for purchasing the Russian S-400 defense system. Now seeing this, Russia is kind of surprised. They even termed it as a sign of US weakness. Although Russia did not say this to spark any controversy or with an intention of creating a drift in US-India relations, in fact, Russia is happy about it. Russia has always supported as well as applauded India's independent decisions. However, it is also an observation on Russia's part to assess its adversary's move, that is the United States. We can also look at the situation in this way. India is the only country in this world today that is actually living up to the real meaning of the word diplomacy. On one hand, India is maintaining relations with United States, and on the other hand, it is also maintaining relations with Russia. This is something extraordinary if you really think about it. No big country in the world today is able to do this. Everyone has taken their sides. People may have different opinion about India, but the fact of the matter is India is able to manage diplomacy wherein other countries, the so-called powerful countries, are unable to do it. Being non-aligned is a very important tool in today's time, and it should be adopted for managing global relations without friction. But then on some issues, you have to make your positions clear. India has clear positions on many issues, whether it is Kashmir, border dispute with China, Atmanirbhar Bharat, and many such issues. Now the main question is, why did the United States exempt India from CAATSA sanction? What could be the possible reason, motivation, or compulsion behind it? And the answer is very simple and straightforward. The reason United States exempted India for purchasing the Russian weaponry is because of China. India has deployed the S-400 system in its western as well as eastern border. So the fact of the matter is India needs a missile defense system for guarding its western and eastern borders. There are no second thoughts in it. And this demand of the Indian government is very well understood as well as acknowledged by United States. Now the question is, India could have bought this system from United States instead of Russia. Here what you need to understand is that even the United States has offered its third missile defense system, which is also called the Patriot, and that too United States was offering the advanced variant, which is the PSE-3. The missiles of PSE-3 has maximum speed of more than 4 Mach. But the United States offered its missile defense system to India only after knowing that India was planning to buy from Russia. What I'm trying to say is United States did not offer the missile system from front. They offered only after knowing that India was approaching Russia. So please don't think that India never had an option other than Russia. And also there are some important reasons why India chose Russia. They are, Russia has always helped India in the past. So a friend in need is a friend indeed. Then most of the defense equipment in Indian military is Russian made. That means India is familiar with Russian hardware. And if you look at the S-400 missile defense system, it is much more better compared to the American one. On top of it, the maximum speed of the S-400 missile goes up to 14 Mach, that is 17,000 km per hour. And then if you see the United States missile system, it is expensive compared to the Russian. So these are some major reasons why India chose the Russian S400 over United States Thar PAC-3. By the way, I also have a video on the S400 system. In that I've explained in detail. The link of that video is in the top right corner. If you're interested, watch it. Now, why did United States allow India? If you remember in the beginning, United States was threatening India with CAATSA sanction, but now they have allowed. There are some reasons behind United States' soft approach towards India. When it is about China, coincidentally, United States and India's interests are on the same page, but their goals and objectives are different. For both US and India, China is a threat in multiple ways, both economically and militarily. The truth is, China has always disregarded bilateral border agreement with India. And if you have heard the Indian Foreign Minister's statement, he made it very clear and he said, although India-China partnership is very much needed, but at the moment the India-China relationship is going through an extremely difficult phase after what China did at Ladakh border. As you may know, Chinese and Indian troops are engaged in a prolonged standoff in eastern Ladakh. The two sides have so far held 16 rounds of Corps Commander level talks to resolve the standoff, which started on May 5th, 2020, followed by a violent clash in Pangong Lake areas. So those who say that China is India's enemy, no, China is not at all India's enemy. In fact, India-China trade has crossed $100 billion this year. Even countries that maintain healthy relationship don't have such high transactional trade. So it's ridiculous to think that China is enemy of India or vice versa. But then you also have to understand that just because both countries conduct high-cost trade, it does not mean that they will get along in all aspects, such as the complexity of life. And the problem here is with China, not India. India and China's problem is only in Himalayan borders. Most part of China lives in the eastern side, but still China intrudes in the Indian territory every now and then. And let me also say this, if at all there is a full-fledged war between India and China, believe me, India can easily checkmate China in 1 or 2 weeks, at least in this region of the world. Mainstream media will never tell you that. Anyhow, China has always disrespected bilateral agreements with India. They also use Pakistan as proxy against India. So China doesn't acknowledge in its wrongdoings. That is the reason even India gives befitting reply to China on every occasion. And if you look at the United States, their problem with China is on different angle altogether. Both the United States and China are primary threat to each other's hegemony. Both the countries are expansionist in their own way. United States badly want to destroy the Chinese economy. That is what they did to Russia with the help of Ukraine. That is the reason I said when it is about China, coincidentally United States and India's interests are on the same page, but their goals are different. Now India is a sovereign country. That is the reason you must have seen when India criticizes China, in the same breath, from time to time India gives befitting reply to Europe as well as United States and calls them out. Only a true non-aligned country can do that. And always remember this line, strength respects strength. This is the reason India bought the Russian S400 system, and I've already given you the reasons why India bought from Russia. So on one side, India is fulfilling its friendship with Russia, and then India is also effectively countering China for its wrongdoings, and then India is also maintaining good relationship with Europe and United States, and at the same time India is also not taking United States and Europe's side regarding the Russia-Ukraine war. And also politely as well as effectively telling them to mind their own business. You see, Russians don't trust anyone that easily, but they do trust India. All the big 5 countries including China is aware. That is how India is able to maintain relations with everyone and also get its work done without complicating things. If you look at the current state of US-China ties, US looks at China as a rising power that is ready to challenge the United States supremacy. Now China's rising power is a growing concern for the United States than India buying the Russian S400 system. I've said this before, India is the only country in entire Asia that can stand up against China both militarily as well as economically. That means United States cannot risk offending India with sanctions. Plus Indian government has maintained good ties with both US Democrats and Republican lawmakers. That means American lawmakers on both sides very well know that they have to avoid sanctions on India. Please don't think that India is offending or nudging the United States or India is being disrespectful. India is politely saying to the United States, make an exception for India and not be dramatic about it. And that is why United States Congress exempted India from CAATSA sanctions. Apart from that, another point is that even China has the S-400 missile defense system. So it makes sense for India to also have an S-400 regiment. If you understand all of this, then you will realize United States actually don't have a problem with India purchasing S-400. And they also don't want to unnecessarily bother India with sanctions. Now you can call it United States compulsion, obligation or exemption. I'll leave the adjective for you, suit yourself. I hope you found this video informative. Thank you for watching it.